Okay, so part 2. We've got our base. This is my loose moss here. And you can't see it just off camera up there. I have a hot glue gun. It can do a high or a low temp. I have mine set to low temp just to kind of keep from burning myself. But I also have a plastic thimble to help me be able to like hold things down and not get glue on my fingers and burn myself. So next, I'm going to take the loose moss and stick to this. And you may be wondering why. Because we already have the moss base, right? But I like to have a lot of texture, and you can see they're two very, very different colors. I just like the way it looks having the variation. And I kind of just take some hunks and pre-plan where I want everything to be first. And I like to kind of do things in clusters, so like bottom cluster, top cluster, if that makes sense. And this moss, just if you're wondering, is some that I found at, whoop, there's a staple. Some that I found at the Dollar Tree, here at our local one. I mean, and you can go absolutely crazy or as minimal of this as you want. That's the best part about making it yourself, is you can make it exactly how you want it to be. I kind of like that, just the two big clusters, and then kind of fill in around it. So this for me is the hardest part gluing wise, because they are kind of just in clusters, and this is real loose moss, so it can be kind of hard to get it all glued down. What I find works the best for this is make like a big glue puddle, then stick the bottom, and then kind of peel the top ones and glue where you need to. Because again, they're just in big clusters, so just glue as best you can. So this one's all like one big piece. I'm gonna lift it off, make me a giant glue puddle. And I'm using my super duper glue gun, my big one, for this. As you can see, I've got one of the great big ones. This came from Dollar General. This is the first big glue gun I've ever had, so I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it yet. But hey, it gets the job done, right? I know this is boring, just watching me squeeze glue, but I'm gonna show this real time. And you can see, like I was saying, so that I can kind of poke and prod without burning myself. Kind of poke some of the top pieces down into the glue as well. And this is, you can kind of see how it's building up on the side here. This is why I said the way that I make mine, you can't really take them apart afterwards unless you're okay with completely destroying the back and making a new one, or peeling all of this off and hoping for the best. Because this is all going to sit on top of this outer edge of the frame. So again, gonna make a great big glue puddle down here. And things don't always go back on the way that I had them laid out to begin with. Sometimes I change things on the fly. But I like to kind of have a plan beforehand where I want things to be. You can tell this glue stick is not hot. It's the one that I just put in. I need you to cooperate with me. Come on, you can do it. Again, I know this isn't the most exciting thing to watch. My apologies. I just want you to see real time kind of what I'm doing and how it changes as you progress. So I'm gonna pick up my blob, set it down, kind of poke and prod everything where I want it to be, poke things down and get them into the glue. Sometimes it sticks to your finger instead. And that's how you can tell, like, that's all hot glue That one stuck to me. So these come in handy. You can use a metal one. This is just what I had on hand. It's from my sewing kit. Okay. So I'm trying to like feel for anything super duper loose, like this. All of this seems to be adhered pretty good. I'd like to put a glob right there. And don't worry if some of your glue is showing. Mine usually starts out with glue spots everywhere, but by the time you add your greenery and your succulents and stuff, you're not gonna see them. This glue is really bad to string as well. I just kind of pick them as I go. Keep it from looking like there's spider webs in your moss mirror. Okay, so that's step number 2 for me. Is laying the loose moss. I'm just checking this other side here. It all seems to be stuck pretty good. It will shed, because again, it's loose moss that we've just kind of hot glued. It makes a mess, but it looks pretty good. So next I'm going to start cutting my greenery and succulent stems, and I will show you that in part